Good morning, all of you. Today, I, Chavi Gupta, welcome you all in this session. I hope you all are safe and watching the videos regularly. Now, in the previous session, we have done the ionic bond formation, and that at that point we have completed the chapter. As some of the part of that chapter has been deleted out by the CBSE. Now, in this video, we will do the Ncert exercise of this chapter, and some questions are also deleted from this Ncert exercise because it contains some topics which are not necessary for you to do in this session only. Okay, now the very first question is, which of the following pairs will give displacement reaction? कौन सा pair displacement reaction देगा? The first, you should know what is a displacement reaction. Displacement reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its solution. Okay, the first part is NaCl solution and copper metal. Will NaCl displace copper from? Will NaCl be displaced by copper from NaCl solution? No. That means copper is less reactive as compared to Na, so it will not displace sodium from its sodium chloride solution. The first part will not give any displacement reaction. Next, magnesium chloride solution and aluminium metal. Will aluminium displaces magnesium? No, because aluminium just comes above the magnesium, so that shows aluminium is more reactive than magnesium, so aluminium cannot displace magnesium from its chloride solution. Next, FeSO4 and silver. Silver is less reactive than iron, so it cannot displace iron from its iron sulfate solution. Next, AgNO3 and copper metal. Yes, it can displace, copper can displace silver from its silver nitrate solution, so that means the D option is correct. Okay, now next, second question is, an element reacts with oxygen to give a compound with a high melting point. This compound is also soluble in water. The element is likely to be, ये एक ऐसा एलिमेंट है जो ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करता है एंड उसको बहुत ज़्यादा हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट है. द कंपाउंड इज सॉल्युबल इन वाटर, और ये जो कंपाउंड फॉर्म हुआ है वो सॉल्युबल है वाटर के अंदर. ओके, so first we will eliminate which cannot be formed. As we all know, carbon and silicon cannot be formed over here because carbon and silicon are non-metals and non-metals cannot react with oxygen. That means यहाँ पे कार्बन और सिलिकॉन की रिएक्शन नहीं होगी. Secondly, if we react iron with oxygen, it will form iron oxide, but this iron oxide is insoluble in water, so this option is also eliminated out. So what is left is calcium. The left is calcium. So calcium reacts with oxygen and it forms calcium oxide, and when it is soluble in water it will form calcium hydroxide. That means A option is correct. Now the next question is question number 3. Food cans are coated with tin and not with zinc because food cans हमेशा tin से कोट की जाती है ना कि zinc से, because zinc is more reactive than tin. Okay, so it shows correct option is C. Food cans are coated with tin and not with zinc because zinc is more reactive and it is more electropositive than tin. Next question is, you are given a hammer, a battery, a bulb, wire and a switch. How could you use them to distinguish between samples of metals and non-metals? आप कैसे बताएंगे इसमें से कौन सा सैम्पल मेटल का है कौन सा नॉन मेटल का है? The first of all, we are giving a hammer. If we take a hammer and if we using a metal, so when we hit a metal with a hammer, it can be malleable into different sheets. So that means if metals are given, so it will be malleable in nature. But if we take a non-metal, it will break down into different pieces on hammering out. Next, if they are a good conductor of electricity, so they will make a electric circuit and the bulb will glow. That shows the metals are good conductors of electricity. So metals of good conductors of electricity, hence they make bulb when you connect metals with a battery, wire and bulb. Similarly, if non-metals are bad conductors of electricity, chance they fail to lit up the bulb and on connecting with wire and battery. So that means कि non-metals bulb glow नहीं कराएंगे. Next, assess the usefulness of these tests in distinguishing between metals and non-metals. ये बेसिकली आपको ये क्या बता रहे हैं कि मेटल्स एंड नॉन मेटल्स में की प्रॉपर्टीज में डिफरेंस क्रिएट करा रहे हैं कि मेटल्स आर malleable एंड they are good conductors of electricity while non-metals are non-malleable and they are poor conductor of electricity. Okay, I hope till question number 4 they are totally clear to you. Next is question number 5. What are amphoteric oxides and give two examples of amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides क्या होते हैं class? Think those oxides which can react with both acid and base and they form salt and water, so they are known as amphoteric oxides. Example lead oxide and aluminium oxide. Okay, so basically lead oxide, amphoteric oxides are the one which reacts with both acids and base to form salt and water. Example lead oxides and aluminium oxide. Okay, next name two metals which will displace hydrogen from dilute acids and two metals which will not. पहले कोई भी दो मेटल्स ऐसे बताने हैं जो हाइड्रोजन को डिस्प्लेस करेंगे एसिड से, एंड दो मेटल्स ऐसे जो हाइड्रोजन को डिस्प्लेस नहीं करेंगे. जो डिस्प्लेस करेंगे दे आर मोर रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन, एंड जो डिस्प्लेस नहीं करेंगे दे आर लेस रिएक्टिव देन हाइड्रोजन. सो रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज में जो एलिमेंट्स हाइड्रोजन से नीचे थे they will not displace hydrogen from dilute acids, they are gold and silver, and जो displace करेंगे it can be zinc and magnesium. Okay, next is question number 7. In the electrolytic refining of a metal M, what would you take as at anode and the cathode and the electrolyte? अगर आप इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक रिफाइनिंग करें एक मेटल की तो कैथोड पे क्या लेंगे, एनोड पे क्या लेंगे, एंड इलेक्ट्रोलाइट क्या लेंगे. क्लास इलेक्ट्रोलाइट विल बी द सेम सॉल्यूशन ऑफ द मेटल M. So in this process of electrolytic refining of metal called M, an impure and thick block of metal M will be taken, and then M is considered as anode. M पे वो जो impure metal की strip है हम वो anode पे लेंगे, and pure metal की थोड़ी सी पतली सी strip हम लोग cathode पे लेंगे. Thin strip of wire of pure metal M is taken as anode. A suitable salt solution of metal M is considered as electrolyte. Okay, next is Pratyusha took sulfur powder on a spatula and heated it. So heat करिए. He collected the gas evolved by inverting a test tube over it. और उसके बाद उसने सल्फर पाउडर लिया, स्पैचुला पे उसे हीट किया, देन उसने उस जो गैस इवॉल्व हुई उसे इन्वर्टिंग टेस्ट ट्यूब के ऊपर अंदर कलेक्ट किया. व्हाट विल बी द एक्शन ऑफ अ गैस ऑन. उस गैस का क्या एक्शन होगा, ड्राई लिटमस पेपर. एज यू ऑल नो इन एसिड बेस एंड सॉल्ट वी हैव told you that on dry litmus paper there will be no reaction of any gas. Okay, but what will be formed is sulfur dioxide is formed. So this sulfur dioxide will not react with any dry litmus paper, but when we take the moist litmus paper it will definitely convert the dry litmus paper. Now it will definitely convert the color. Now see, when sulfur powder is burnt in the air, sulfur dioxide is formed, and sulfur dioxide does not have any effect on a dry litmus paper, but when taken on a moist litmus paper it will convert blue to red as contact of SO2, that is sulfur dioxide, with water turns to sulfurous acid. अगर वो ब्लू टू रेड में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है दैट मीन्स इट इज़ कन्वर्टिंग इनटू एसिडिक. दिस शोज दैट sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature and it will form sulfurous acid. Okay, next write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction, that is sulfur plus oxygen gives you sulfur dioxide SO2, and when this SO2 is reacting with water it will form H2SO3, that is sulfurous acid. Okay, I hope the question number 8 is clear to you. Now the question number 9 is what type of oxides are formed when non-metals combine with oxygen. किस तरह के ऑक्साइड्स फॉर्म होंगे जब नॉन मेटल ऑक्सीजन के साथ कंबाइन करेंगे. दे कैन बी एसिडिक और दे कैन बी न्यूट्रल. ओके, बेसिकली आपका एसिड और न्यूट्रल दोनों ही हो सकता है. नाउ व्हेन नॉन मेटल कंबाइन विद ऑक्सीजन इट फॉर्म्स आइदर एसिडिक और न्यूट्रल ऑक्साइड्स. एग्जांपल N2O3, N2O5 are acidic in nature, but carbon monoxide is neutral oxide. I hope question number 9 is clear to you. Now the question number 10 is platinum, gold and silver are used to make jewelry. Why? You all know they come below hydrogen and they are less reactive with acids, with base, with your water, with your oxygen. So they are least reactive. Moreover, they can be formed into thin sheets, they can be formed into wires. So it means they are malleable and ductile in nature. So platinum, gold and silver are used to make jewelry. For these metals are as these metals are very less reactive, hence they are not affected by air, water or most chemicals. These metals have a lot of luster, shine होता है, they are malleable and ductile in nature, and they are they also have high corrosion resistance, means इतनी जल्दी corrode नहीं होते वो. I hope a part is clear. Next, sodium, potassium and lithium are stored under oil. क्यों? Because they are vigorous in nature. वो बहुत vigorously react करते हैं and उसको fire cause करते हैं. So to prevent them their exposure with water, we store them under oil. So sodium, potassium and lithium readily react with water to produce a lot of heat. As a result, hydrogen involved in the reaction results in a fire. On exposure to water, they react with moisture, water droplets present in the atmosphere. In order to prevent contact with water, hence these metals are stored under oil. I hope this question is clear. Now the C part is aluminium is highly reactive metal, yet it is used to make utensils for cooking. बहुत ज़्यादा हाईली रिएक्टिव मेटल है, बट सम यूटेंसिल्स में कुकिंग के लिए क्यों यूज़ करते हैं? बिकॉज वो सी एल्यूमिनियम फॉर्म्स ऑन इट सरफेस अ नॉन रिएक्टिव सरफेस ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड. क्या होता है एक्चुअली एल्यूमिनियम रिएक्टिव है, बट जब एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करता है तो इट विल फॉर्म एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड, and this aluminum oxide coating is actually a non-reactive reacting surface which does not allow further aluminum to deployed. Okay, therefore aluminum is used to make utensils. So such coating prevents other compounds from reacting to aluminium. So aluminium is being used to produce utensils for cooking. I hope that question is clear to you. Now the next question is question number 11. You must have seen tarnished copper vessels being cleaned with lemon or tamarind juice. Explain why these source substances are effective in cleaning the vessels. बेसिकली हम कॉपर वेसल्स के ऊपर इमली का पानी या फिर लेमन जूस यूज़ करते हैं उनको क्लीन करने के लिए. रीज़न बेइंग जो कॉपर ऑक्साइड की लेयर है वो लेमन के साथ रिएक्ट कर जाती है एंड उसको जो उसकी शाइननेस होती है उसको वापस रीगेन कराती है. सो बेसिकली tarnished copper vessels being cleaned with lemon or tamarind because this source of substance contain acid and metal oxides are formed. क्यों? क्योंकि कॉपर जो है वो ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करें कॉपर ऑक्साइड बना रहे हैं, दैट इज अ मेटल ऑक्साइड. एंड सारे मेटल ऑक्साइड्स क्या होते हैं? बेसिक इन नेचर. एंड यू नो लेमन और टैमरिंड जूस आपका एसिडिक इन नेचर है. सो व्हेन एन एसिड और बेस रिएक्ट इट विल फॉर्म अ न्यूट्रल सब्सटेंस एंड दैट न्यूट्रल सब्सटेंस मीन्स कि आपने उनके ऊपर के जो लेयर डिपॉजिट हुई थी उसको क्लीन कर दिया एंड अल्टीमेटली आपने उसकी शाइनेस को वापस लौटा दिया. ओके, tarnished copper vessels being cleaned with lemon or tamarind because this source substance contains acid which dissolves the coating of copper oxide or basic copper carbonate present on the surface of tarnished copper vessels. This makes them shining red brown again, hence they are very effective in cleaning tarnished copper vessels. I hope this question is clear. Next is differentiate between metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical properties. First, metals form ionic bonds, non-metals form covalent bond. Secondly, they are basically dissolved in water, but non-metals does not dissolve in water. Third, it can turn red litmus paper to blue, and non-metals will turn blue litmus to red. Fourth, they are electropositive in nature. Non-metals are electronegative. Okay, and they gain electrons. Metals are very shiny, non-metals are not shining. Next, they act as a reducing agent. Non-metals act as oxidizing agent. Metals are good conductors of electricity and heat. Non-metals are non-conductors of electricity and heat except graphite. Next, all metals are solid except mercury. Non-metals are basically liquid or in gaseous states. Okay. Now the next is a man went door to door posing as a goldsmith. मतलब एक मैन है जो अपने आपको गोल्ड स्मिथ बता रहा है एंड ही प्रॉमिस टू ब्रिंग बैक द ग्लिटर ऑफ द ओल्ड एंड डल गोल्ड ऑर्नामेंट्स. बेसिकली आप सबने देखा जब आप गोल्ड रेगुलरली वियर करते हैं तो कुछ टाइम के बाद उसमें उसकी शाइनेस चली जाती है. सो गोल्ड स्मिथ क्या कह रहा है कि मैं आपको वो शाइनेस वापस रिगेन करा दूंगा. द बैंगल स्पार्कल सो व्हाट ही डू इज an unsuspecting lady gave a set of gold bangles to him which he dipped in a particular solution. द बैंगल स्पार्कल लाइक अ न्यू बट देयर वेट वॉज रिड्यूस ड्रास्टिकली। अब एक्चुअली में एक लेडी ने अपने बैंगल्स सिए जिससे वो शाइन तो हो गया, गोल्ड स्मिथ ने क्या किया, उसे एक सॉल्यूशन में डिप किया एंड डिप करने के बाद गोल्ड शाइन तो कर गया, जो बैंगल से वो शाइन कर गए, बट उनका वेट कम हो गया। द लेडी वॉज अपसेट बट आफ्टर अ फर्टाइल आर्ग्यूमेंट द मैन बीट अ हैस्टी रिट्रीट। कैन यू प्ले द डिटेक्टिव टू फाइंड आउट द नेचर ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन ही हैड यूज्ड। ना आपको बताना है कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ और कौन सा सॉल्यूशन यूज़ किया था। गोल्ड स्मिथ यूज द सॉल्यूशन, कौन सा सॉल्यूशन था, दैट इज एक्वा रिग, जो कि रॉयल वाटर कहलाया जाता है लैटिन में। एंड basically it is a mixture of hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio of 3:1. That means 3 parts of HCl and 1 part of HNO3, that is nitric acid. And this aqua regia is capable of dissolving noble metals like gold and platinum. So basically जो डल गोल्ड ऑर्नामेंट की शाइन थी वो डिजॉल्व हो जाती है, जिससे उनका वेट कम हो जाता है एंड अल्टीमेटली इट लीड्स टू रिडक्शन इन वेट, बट शाइनेस वापस आ जाते हैं। इसलिए कहा जाता है कि कभी भी गोल्ड क्लीन नहीं करवाना चाहिए बिकॉज इट लीड्स टू द रिडक्शन इन वेट। So I hope this exercise is clear to you, and if you have any doubt you can contact me. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.